Do not try anything you are about to see at home.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
In this souped-up series of Mythbusters,
there's so many things that could go wrong right now.
the team is taking it to the test track
If I knew what was going to happen, we wouldn't be doing the test.
to tackle everything from fuel economy
Your results may differ.
to stunts
Get out, get out, get out!
and speed.
Let's drive!
They're throwing it in reverse, slamming the brakes, and driving downright dangerously
I'm gone in a puff of smoke.
so you don't have to. Discover the science behind the most legendary automotive myths. Buckle up for Motor Mythbusters Test Track. In this program, it's all about the worst-case scenario as the team investigates car capers with the capacity for catastrophe.
My weapon of choice, a potentially lethal slush drink.
Adam and Jamie test whether a soda cup thrown from a vehicle could kill an oncoming driver,
Time to inspect the wounds.
or if a humble tissue box can become a lethal missile.
Whoops, he's fine.
Meanwhile, Carrie, Tori, and Grant are on a collision course of their own
Do not try this at home.
to find out if an airbag can turn a lockpick into a skull-cleaving spear. And first in the firing line, is it possible for a big rig blowout to knock your block off?
We have a killer of a myth, literally.
Bring it on.
Well, you're in a vehicle alongside a semi-trailer truck, and the myth is that when the tire blows, it's such a powerful explosion that it'll not only break your windshield, but also decapitate you.
So how do you want to proceed with this?
Well, we've got to get a truck tire rolling up to speed somehow, and one way or another, we've got to induce a failure in that tire.
Man, I've heard these things are like bombs when they go off. We don't want to be anywhere near it.
Maybe we can make some kind of stationary rig.
To test this myth in a controlled environment, Adam and Jamie are building their own supersized dynamometer by sinking a pickup truck's tires into the ground so it can't go anywhere.
Dude, give it more gas!
Then lowering a big rig onto the spinning wheels to replicate the tire rolling at highway speed, with Buster positioned directly in the firing line.
So, this is our big rig, suspended in midair by our 30,000-pound forklift. We are going to lower this down onto our dynamometer. I know it looks like a pickup truck, but in fact, it's a dynamometer. It'll spin up to speed, spinning this wheel in the correct direction. We are going to make this tire fail by hell or high water, and that failing tire, hopefully, will knock Buster's head right off his body.
The reason we're using a motorcycle here is because this is a worst-case scenario. Obviously, on a motorcycle, you're a lot more exposed. And so if a big tire like this goes off, while we could have put a car there, we figured this is the nastiest thing we can do with this particular experiment.
Things are only going to get nastier for Buster, because to blow the tire, Adam and Jamie are going with the direct approach, the shotgun.
We're using a standard 12-gauge shotgun with a deer slug in it. The deer slug is actually one of the heavier bullets that is available in any kind of normal civilian weapon. It'll penetrate the tire, and the big question here is whether the air inside the tire is enough to actually make it rip or do something violent other than hiss.
And what we're hoping, if everything goes really well, what'll happen is that slug will enter the tire right about here and compromise the radial. That's the steel wires that run around the perimeter of the tire. Once that radial gets compromised, if the gods are shining on us, this thing will open up like a zipper and fail in a magnificent fashion, slicing Buster's head right off.
With the dynamometer spinning at 50 miles per hour, it's time for the magic bullet. Of course, this isn't a typical way for a truck tire to blow, but it should result in the catastrophic failure that this myth needs.
This is tire blowout, shotgun shell, revving the engine.
While Adam revs the target tire up to highway speeds, Jamie rides shotgun.
I'm good whenever we're clear elsewhere.
He must hit the tire, pumped to standard truck pressure of 115 psi, sidewall center.
That's a hit, man. Nicely done. I heard it go up.
Yep.
But that was not the catastrophic failure we wanted.
Jamie was right on the money, hitting the tire dead on. But there sure was no explosion.
It's a neat hole. It's right there.
That's the hole?
Well, that ought to tell us something. I mean, that bullet's that big around. You know, they don't get any bigger than that, and it hit it clean right in the sidewall. It had to hit some of those cables. That was full pressure. That was a perfect hit, so.
The high speed shows the moment of impact as the slug pierces the tire. But Buster's white-knuckle ride is unaffected. To get a tire explosion, they're going to need a plan B.
We have to come up with a new plan, because what we're doing isn't working. These tires are super crazy, incredibly resilient.
So to try to turn a tire torpedo, Adam's creating his own version of a road-weary tire that's done way too many miles with an angle grinder.
What I've done is I've worn this tire down to the radial wires through the rubber.
Then they'll test to see if suddenly over-pressurizing the pre-worn tire will result in the biker beheading they're after.
In this line, it's 150 psi. When I hook it up, it's just going to pass that onto the tire, and if the tire is sufficiently weakened, it's going to blow. Exploding tire, hopefully. Final test. In 3, 2, 1. Come on, baby. Come on.
There we go. That was it.
That was it? It looks just like a zipper.
It opened up where you cut it.
But it didn't propagate.
No.
No.
It didn't really. That wasn't very satisfying.
It wasn't what we're looking for here.
The tire did fail, but it still didn't fail catastrophically. With this myth deflating fast, Adam has one final plan.
Well, we've seen the blowout. Let's put it under a little pressure on the bottom tire and spin it up to speed. See if we get some shrapnel out of it.
Adam reckons that if the burst tire spins long enough, something's got to give. And sure enough, as the dyno picks up speed, rubber shrapnel soon starts flying far and wide. But have any of these tire torpedoes toppled our Wild Hog Buster?
This is the coolest toy ever. I think we gotta pull over.
I'm gonna go stop the truck, all right?
Once the smoke clears, the guys go in for a closer look.
That's terrifying.
Although rubber shrapnel did get flung, none of it hit our biker. So what does that mean for the myth?
If we look at the footage from that camera over there, we'll see one of the large chunks of rubber that flew about 200 feet in that direction.
I watched one piece go like maybe 70, 80 feet straight up. We need to actually find out what happens when you do get hit.
Yeah, we need to make it a non-random event. We need to make a rubber chucker. We need to make something that chucks chunks, large chunks of rubber right at Buster's head to see what kind of damage it'll do.
The plan is to hoist up the pickup truck and sit the drive wheel on another freely spinning wheel. Then, a piece of big rig tire will be placed between the wheels, and when the pickup revs up, the tire piece will be spat out the other side towards Buster. So, fresh from the mud, the pickup is driven into place.
Looks good, looks good. Looks good.
The forklift gives the pickup a raise and holds it in position.
I'm here for you, buddy.
Okay.
An upturned trailer will provide the lower spin wheel for their rubber chucker. Adam and Jamie slide it into place beneath the pickup truck. All set for Adam to take the driver's seat and control the speed at which the wheels spin.
20, 25, 30.
When he hits 40, Jamie will feed a strip of rubber that came off their earlier big rig blowout between the wheels.
40.
A hole-in-one on their test board. Adam can barely contain himself.
Wow, there's nothing left but to get this test set up with the head and just go. That is awesome. This one was going 40 miles an hour, which is, by the best math that we could do on its trajectory and the height it went in the air, about how fast that piece of rubber was going when it left our truck out at the range. So, if this beheads the guy, I'd say this myth is confirmed.
The human analog for the beheading guy has been molded from ballistics gel with a pig spine neck bone. Adam and Jamie place him in the driver's seat, directly in the path of the tire belt, which will be fired at the driver's window at 40 miles per hour.
Okay, well, let's fire the truck up and see what this puppy will do.
Right. 25, 30, 35, go! Wow! That was awesome, dude.
The result is without doubt.
His neck is broken.
Oh, he's killed. He's completely dead.
Well, it pulled his spine out of his head.
Anyone coming upon this scene of an accident would say the body was beheaded.
And any chances for recovery are going, gone. Viewed on high speed, the force of the impact is frightening. And it's clear that the only driving our ballistics gel dummy would be doing is in a hearse.
Oh, it's a perfect hit. That's it hit. Oh my God. I mean, it's like there's nothing there. Final wrap up. What's the verdict on exploding truck tires?
There's not really any two ways about it. If this thing hits you at 40 miles an hour or some other highway speed, make it cut your head off. It's confirmed.
I totally agree. Confirmed.
So with one down, literally, it's over to Carrie, Tori, and Grant for the next of our automotive worst-case scenarios.
Okay, so lockpick of death, what is that?
This one's actually an airbag myth. Scenario is a guy's breaking into a car using one of those flat lockpicks, triggers the side airbag. The airbag explodes, launching the lockpick through his skull.
Sweet. Sweet.
This myth is another urban legend. A would-be car thief is using a lockpick to break into a car. While poking about inside the door, he unwittingly triggers the side airbag, which expands with such force the lockpick becomes a missile, and the thief suddenly finds himself picking his own brain.
Well, I think we should learn, first of all, how to pick a car lock. Do either of you know how to do that already?
No.
Well, short of getting a criminal, I think maybe we should see if a fireman can help us out, because I know that you have to pick locks to get into cars.
The guys are going on a fact-finding mission.
We need to learn how to use a lockpick, and we hear you can teach us.
Well, we do have some cars over here, and we do have some tools. Let's see if we can actually get in.
Excellent. Let's do it.
Cool.
At the Livermore Pleasanton Fire Department's training facility, firemen do take lockpicking lessons. And while we're not allowed to show you how it's done, the Mythbusters take careful note of the technique.
All right, Matt, you want to give it a shot? Sure.
So you are leaning directly over the lockpick as you're trying to get in the car.
It's worth noting, too, that these guys don't practice this on vehicles with side airbags, just in case.
I mean, if you were leaning over that tool and the airbag went off, I could see how that thing would launch up into your neck.
This demonstration shows that a person using a lockpick would be in the correct position to be impaled.
He's almost got it. Hey!
Outstanding. Excellent.
But would an airbag really go off with a big enough bang to send that tool through your skull?
We have a driver's airbag out of a small vehicle, and I put a traffic cone on it so we can see it a little bit better going up in the air, and we're going to launch it. Do not try this at home.
The airbag's rigged for remote ignition.
Everybody ready?
Hey, we're ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah!
Run!
Good shot.
The leading edge of this bag is coming at you about 500 miles an hour. It's deploying in about 1/4 of a millisecond. and then it deflates almost immediately.
These things are powerful. I mean, I could see how this whole thing might work.
All right, let's get going.
Time to test this myth for real. And the guys had a super technical plan to operate the pick lock via remote control, while Carrie's on dummy detail.
This is sort of a gory myth, the idea of a lockpick shooting through your head. So I'm gonna make a little bit of blood and a little bit of brain that I can stuff up into this cavity here. And that way, whoops, he's fine. If the skull gets damaged anyway, we'll know.
Carrie mixes up some fake blood, and for the old gray matter,
Well, that looks a little like brain, doesn't it? Just a little.
now that's using your noodle. When Carrie's finished filling his head with nonsense,
Brains are made of noodles.
she puts the skull inside the mold
I think this skull might have been a little bigger than Grant's head.
and pours ballistics gel around it.
I just can't tell if it's leaking out or not.
Before you know it, we've got our test track car thief.
Yeah!
And Grant's assembled a set of remote-controlled lock-picking robot hands to do the dirty work.
The lockpick sits right here in between two grippy hands with ballistics material fingers. Those are held securely in two linear actuators that will move basically in a straight line like this or angling like that.
Now, we just need a car to break into.
Are we sure that the airbags in here are actually operational?
I think they've already been set off, to be honest.
No, Tori, the side airbag hasn't been deployed. We just don't know if it can still fire. Mechanic Thomas Hannon runs a complete diagnostic check and, not surprisingly, finds plenty of faults.
Now, for this myth, we're focusing on the side impact airbags. Will those faults inhibit the system from firing those?
No, they shouldn't.
So the robots moved into position.
Okay, just gonna get the tip inserted here. Too dangerous for the whole lockpick. So that's what this myth is all about.
Using the remote control, Grant plunges the lockpick deep into the door.
Okay, so that is as deep as it can go in there.
Finally, our car thief's head is carefully positioned directly above the lockpick.
That's perfect, man.
It's right under his chin.
Okay.
All right, let's see if you can fire off this airbag.
Okay, guys, lockpick of death. Are you ready?
If this works, we're going to get a lockpick shooting through the guy's skull like a spear, and there's gonna be blood and udon everywhere.
Here we go.
Grant goes fishing. And because he's not actually trying to unlock the door, it's all about triggering the airbag, he takes a little creative license, letting the robot get rough.
Oh, let me get a little bit more vigorous.
Now, that's good, because if you were breaking into a car, you probably would be a little more frantic about it.
But it's to no avail. And there's a good reason.
Thomas, how come we're not able to set off the airbag?
The airbag's actually inside the car, not inside the door.
So you knew this all along, and this is what you're expecting? You watch us bumble around with this?
Yeah, I was pretty certain that the airbag would not deploy.
Okay, so the side airbag is not actually located inside the door cavity. Rather, it's on the car's interior, right behind the door upholstery. So they rig the airbag to go off remotely, just to see if the explosion has any effect on the outside. There you have it. The airbag explosion is totally contained within the car.
The airbag is deploying inside the car. The direction is not up towards the lockpick, so the lockpick would never get launched into your skull. It's busted.
Well, that means it's my favorite part of the myth. This is where we get to replicate the results. I did not make those brains for nothing.
So, to pick our car thief's brain once and for all, the plan is to build an air cannon that will fire that lockpick straight into the dummy's skull.
To get this lockpick up to lethal velocity, we're gonna need as much air as possible going through here as quickly as we can.
The lockpick is set in a foam sabot, which fits snugly down the barrel.
All right, load her in.
You know, there's a chance that the barrel itself might explode.
Once again, the dummy's going to lead with his chin. He's lined up directly over the barrel,
I would say let's strap it.
Nah, that's good, dude. It's perfect.
If that lockpick launches, it just can't miss. But will it be able to pierce solid bone? The cannon's primed with maximum air pressure, 125 psi. Will that be enough to blow the dummy's mind?
This is Lockpick of Death, the final blow.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Straight up to the top of the head. Dude, it's totally curved to his skull.
Oh, that is it.
It's dripping blood.
That's what you wanted.
I know that an airbag won't do that, but I
Hey,
guess an air gun will.
If ever there was a Mythbusters experiment that does what it says on the tin, this is it. The skull's skewered.
Looks like it took 125 psi for me to meet my demise. Now that's so far out of the realm of reality, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, you know, the whole idea of, you know, in the middle of breaking into a car, the airbag going off and launching the lockpick into your head, I mean, it's just busted.
it's busted.
It's busted like me.
So while car thieves across the country breathe a collective sigh of relief, Adam and Jamie are considering another potentially cataclysmic car case.
This one is called the Killer Tissue Box, and
What are you doing up there anyway?
I got some new stills.
And,
Just doing a blueprint on stills.
okay.
Anyway, Killer Tissue Box says that this tissue box could potentially be deadly. That in an auto accident, if it's sitting on the back shelf of your car, when you collided with something, it would be propelled forward with enough force to actually kill you when it hit your head.
What, 60 miles an hour or so?
Something like that. Let's try.
I don't think this is gonna kill you. What do you
No, I
think?
didn't really feel it. Try again. Okay, started to feel it right about there. Should we do this full scale?
All right, why not?
Now, the simplest and most spectacular way to test this myth would be to place a tissue box on the rear shelf of a car, get Buster behind the wheel, and crash the vehicle at high speed. So that's exactly what the Mythbusters are going to do. And because no one can be in this busted old fury for the crash, they'll need to devise a way to control it via a tow car.
The wheel is attached to the car here, and the steering comes down like this, right? We're going to attach a bar to the wheel that comes out here on each side. There'll be a pin here and a crossbar, and we're going to pull from this point forward. And this means that if this moves, this actually helps the car steer directly towards where it's being pulled. And to be honest, this point won't be forward of the front of the car, so it shouldn't affect the crash.
Building the steering rig will be Grant's responsibility.
So here's our killer tissue box. I want to measure its distance to your head here. All right. It looks just about 42 inches. You know, I was thinking about tissue box flying in a car crash, and I was thinking anything that's moving forward is also going to be affected by gravity, so it's going to go down. But we got a lip on this back that the back seat creates, and that's pretty universal from my experience.
That's a nice little ski jump there.
Yeah, it's going to give it a little bit of something like that, so it might actually hit you right in the head there.
Okay.
The Fury has bench seats with no headrests, and there's nothing protecting the driver from any object that may be lurking in the back. So the guys have an idea to test a few variables.
What's the plan?
Well, obviously, we are prepared to crash a full-size car with a tissue box in it. But we don't just want to test a tissue box. We want to test a variety of objects. And we don't have enough cars to crash one for every object we want to test. So I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to build a repeatable crash test rig where we can see how each of these objects reacts under the worst case scenario crash conditions without destroying our rig every time we use it.
The rig will have to be lightweight, yet able to handle huge G-forces. Even in low-speed collisions, people can be subjected to around 80 Gs. Astronauts pull only 8 at liftoff.
The only bad thing that can happen is all those rip, and I just don't see it happening.
Are you going to cut this off?
No.
Oh, okay.
The rig will be attached to the tow vehicle using a breakaway hitch made of wood. It should be strong enough to support the weight of the rig during acceleration, but weak enough to brake at the point of impact. Can't help thinking these guys must have built a mean go-kart. Adam adds a rear shelf for our tissue box to sit on. And playing the role of crash test dummy, a slab of gel in a box.
So this is one of the boxes that's actually going to hold my ballistics gel on the front of this car. You can see it's got a lip in here, and the lip is so that when I pour ballistics gel up to the top, it's actually captured by this mold. It's never going to get released from that. And hopefully, when this car stops at 50 miles an hour, the ballistics gel's not going to tear itself out of the mold.
Right, the crash test vehicle is ready.
That's good.
It's time to take this show on the road. And Adam and Jamie have found the perfect test track.
We're in Alameda, California on an unused naval airstrip. And we need this because we need a long, straight, open run.
They've got 1,000 feet of cable. One end is attached to the crash test vehicle. The other is attached to 3 concrete barriers, each weighing 4,000 pounds. The barriers will act as an anchor. When that cable is pulled straight, their combined weight will bring the crash sled to a very sudden stop.
Slow down.
For a serious grunt up front, they've hired a pickup, which will tow the sled up the runway at 45 miles per hour.
Come on, come on, come on. Right there, I want it to stop right there. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
Perfect. The crash rig stopped right on cue. The cable stayed attached. To give you some idea of the force involved, the 4,000-pound concrete barrier was dragged along like a piece of styrofoam.
Jamie, that was perfect.
Exactly 45 miles an hour, over.
Time to do some crash testing. Here are some objects you might find on the rear shelf of someone's car.
Well, this one's definitely the heaviest.
Right.
And so there's an argument to be said there that it could crush your head. This one also is fairly heavy. I'd say it's a toss-up between these two, and then this one's also, maybe this one could break your neck even if it doesn't crush your skull. That thing's about right up there with the Kleenex box.
Well, if the myth is correct, this Kleenex box is at the top of our lethality pyramid.
This little guy weighs just 125 grams. But remember, in a sudden impact, small objects can pack a big wallop, up to 30 times their own weight. Unfortunately, on this run, the bobblehead's not going anywhere.
The bobblehead fell over into the fence of screws and did not move, over.
At a certain speed, I'm sure that a bobblehead could be lethal, but I don't think that speed is 45 miles an hour.
Maybe we'll have more luck with the subwoofer.
Comes.
The crash rig slams to a halt. The subwoofer keeps on going, striking the ballistics gel at 45 miles per hour. Put it this way, you'd really be able to feel the beat.
Just like we thought it might, the knob that describes the seat over the back shelf, that like 1-inch little riser, kicked this up, and you can see it go up, but it pretty much would hit you dead on in the head. We'll have to crunch the numbers to find out how hard, but it was a pretty good hit.
What if a hatchet hit you?
You want to catch this? Check this out.
At 45 miles per hour, it'd be like something out of a B-grade slasher film.
Oh my God! Dude!
Look, the axe head's out on the other side of the board.
Not in a million years could we have done it that good.
Well, I think it's safe to say that you don't want to be carrying hatchets on your rear shelf.
This is your head. This is your head with an axe in it. Are we clear?
Well, we still have the fire extinguisher and the bowling ball to try.
A fresh gel cartridge is screwed in place.
That looked like a perfect hit.
The 1 kilogram fire extinguisher probably wouldn't be fatal, but it would definitely ruin your day. Now, the bowling ball. Actually, of course, it's more like a cannonball. And remember, Jamie was only doing 45 miles an hour.
I think our rig has held up admirably. I'm not sure if it will hold up to 70 miles an hour, but it's time to see what a tissue box does at the worst possible speed.
All right, let's do it.
They put the rig back together. The tissue box is put in place.
Okay, this is the 70-mile-an-hour test. This is maximum speed, over. Okay, and going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Find out if this is actually deadly.
Jamie ups the pace to almost 70 miles per hour. The box of tissues imparts almost 50 foot-pounds. But at 323 grams, it just doesn't have enough mass to do much damage.
There's just no way. I mean, we tested a whole bunch of stuff. The bowling ball went right through this whole rig. Tissue box.
It might be like, ow, you know, but I'm guessing that the ow from the airbag is going to be a lot worse.
Jamie, I think killer tissue box is definitively busted. Even if you had a decorative plastic or metal cover on this thing, it just doesn't have the mass to inflict lethal damage.
But we should point out to our viewers that anything that is sharp or weighs over a couple of pounds or so is not something you want to have unrestrained in the back of the car, even in the back seat, because it could be, if not lethal, definitely dangerous.
Absolutely, but I think the final word on this should be left to Buster, who is living proof, such as it is, that in a head-on 70-mile-an-hour collision, this is the very least of your worries.
Okay, so Adam and Jamie have busted the killer tissue box myth. But if you think that's going to stop them destroying the old Fury, you are, of course, sadly mistaken. With Buster at the wheel, that car is going to be towed along the tarmac at top speed, straight into these crash barriers.
It's kind of important that they be lined up just so, because each one of these only weighs about as much as the car does, and the car is going to be traveling quite quickly. So with that in mind, we've overlapped them and put one in the back of them so that they'll hopefully not move too far with the impact.
And now, the final and perhaps deadliest component of this test, the tissues. Okay, put it back there.
This is actually really scary. You know, we did a test. It seems like it's working okay, but 4,000 pounds of car rolling kind of on its own at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour is a scary thing, and we've got to kind of thread a needle with the end of it. So this is just, I'm going to be way the heck down there. That's all I know.
One end of the cable is attached to the Fury. The line is then threaded through holes in the barriers, and the other end tied to the pickup. Jamie floors the accelerator.
The car looks great.
The Fury chews up the test track tarmac and hits the barrier at almost 60 miles an hour. impact, the Fury leapt up into the air, so the tissue box's trajectory took it into the back of the seat instead of Buster's noggin.
So, Grant, what's the time to reset and do this one again?
Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit more than 20 minutes, I think.
Oh, let's see. Okay. What was your speed at impact?
65 miles an hour.
Amazingly, the box survived intact. The cardboard is not crumpled. There's not even a single torn tissue.
Let's see, is there a Buster-shaped head imprint on this? No,
Well,
looks pretty good.
You know, that's a good indication that this is really deadly, though. That's the one thing in the car that's tough enough to survive an impact.
Grant plugs into the accelerometer implanted in Buster's head.
114.8 Gs.
114.8?
Yeah.
Dude, that's very significant.
Oh, very significant. Remember, an astronaut pulls only 8 Gs during liftoff.
This came out of the accelerometer, and what it got right here is interesting. At 100 milliseconds, remember I said it's a peak of 115? That's the modulus of all three axes. And here, in the Z direction, I have about 75, and in the X direction, I have about 90. So Z being top of the head, and X being side to side. So I think he must have turned.
And smacked his head on the dash.
I think so.
So you think maybe it's that Buster was trying to twist out of the way of the deadly tissue box as it was making its way like a bullet towards the windshield?
Well, if that's the case, then clearly the second spike has to be the tissue box hitting Buster in the head.
While Adam removes his tongue from his cheek, the guys are moving swiftly on to the last of our death-defying parables.
Close your eyes. I'm going to paint you a picture with words.
Okay.
I'm driving down the highway at highway speeds. I've just gone to a drive-in, and I've gotten a soda in a styrofoam cup. And it's the wrong soda.
Oh, you hate that.
I know. So I hurl the soda out the window, being a jerk, and it hits a car going the opposite direction, also at highway speeds, pierces the windshield right in front of the driver, and kills her.
A styrofoam cup does that?
I know.
That is crazy.
The story goes that while traveling at highway speeds, our mythical litterbug tossed their unfinished drink out the window, and it supposedly pierced the windshield of an oncoming vehicle with enough force to kill the driver.
Okay, now I want to paint you a word picture.
I'm not going to close my eyes, though.
That's fine. This is a quick one. We make a cannon that shoots a cup of soda. Huh?
Really? I somehow pictured two cars going at each other, jousting fashion, tossing cups out the window.
No. I figure we'll get exactly to that place. But first, we need to know what the cup is filled with. Is it soda? Is it soda and ice? Is it ice alone? Is it a slush drink? We have to determine what filling has the most power, and what's better for that than a cannon?
Well, all right, then.
I thought you'd like it.
So before the highway trash jousting can begin,
I think that was a hit!
the guys are going to arm themselves with an indoor air cannon.
I'd say that ought to do it.
Their goal is to discover which of the various possible combinations of cup contents will impart the most force on impact. And speaking of the force, here's the Yoda of soda.
So there you have it, our potentially deadly styrofoam cup. Now, for the purposes of our experimentation, I'm going to want to know exactly how much energy this cup imparts to something it hits, whether it's empty or filled with different substances. How am I going to do that? With this, a load cell. This little button here can tell me when I hit it with something exactly how much energy is transferred from the object to the load cell. But here we got an object that's too big and a load cell that's too small, so I'm going to increase the surface area of my load cell by placing it between these two nice heavy steel plates. Now, when this cup hits this first steel plate, that will transfer the energy to the button and tell me exactly how much energy this potentially lethal cup might have. It's ready.
With the force plate in place, the guys will be able to accurately compare the impact of each cup fired from the cannon.
Off at a rakish angle. I like it. Firing in 3, 2, 1.
And after an afternoon firing combinations of ice,
2, 1.
soda with ice, and the dreaded Slushy out of their air cannon. And a laminated picture of Jamie.
1.
They found that the slush mix packs the biggest punch. Why? It could be because it has the most mass. Or it could be that the slush mixture, made up of fine slivers of ice and liquid, enables it to transfer more of its kinetic energy to the target than the other contenders. Either way, we have a winner.
Well, Jamie's face has taken a proper pummeling. We have fired every combination of soda and ice that we can think of, and we learned 3 things. 1 is that this room now looks like a frat house during the Roaring '20s when Jamie was in college. 2 is that Jamie doesn't seem to mind a mess in his shop as long as it's in the name of science. And 3, the most amount of force expended at Jamie's face, well, actually our load cell, was with the slush drink. That's what we're taking on the road.
The question now is that power enough to penetrate a windshield and give the driver a severe case of death?
Moving on.
I don't see why not. We have already determined the awesome power of non-trademark blue slush drink.
Well, what's next then?
Well, I think it's exactly what you stated at the beginning. We line 2 cars up facing each other, race towards each other jousting style at highway speeds, and I hurl a cup of blue slush drink right at your windshield.
I don't think that'd be a good idea. Let's say we hang a windshield off to the side of my car and we aim the soda at that.
Done. Let's do it.
Cue the test track, and time to paint a picture.
Here's how this whole thing's gonna play out. I'm gonna play the role of the passenger careening down the freeway at 60 miles an hour, sucking on a slush drink. I just got it, let's say the drive-through. Hey, that's not the one I ordered, I'll say, and cavalierly I will throw it out the window.
Flies through the air and smack, it hits our windshield.
If our cup happens to make it through our windshield and hit into Buster, well, we're going to have strategically placed shock watch stickers on both his chest and his head.
And that way we'll know whether he got hurt.
These shock watch stickers will show how much trauma Buster is exposed to. So after a couple of dry drive-bys, our drivers are ready.
Beautiful.
With blue slush in hand, let the lethal litter jousting begin.
Jamie, are you ready to go?
I'm in position and ready to go.
With Jamie in the truck and our perfectly tame racing car driver in the car, they're all set for a run at 60 miles per hour.
My vehicle, experimental. My weapon of choice, a potentially lethal slush drink.
This is 60 miles an hour, styrofoam cup with slush drink in 3, 2, 1, go!
It's very exciting.
Looking really good. Yeah! I think that was a perfect hit.
I don't know about you, but that'd kind of bum me out.
That's a bullseye of bullseyes. Nicely done.
A perfect hit. The cup was aimed straight at Buster. So how did he do?
Checking Buster's vitals.
I can see them. They're all clean.
Yeah, he didn't take any lethal damage, but hell, if that happened to your car, you'd be a very unhappy, probably unsafe driver.
Well, not to mention the fact that you might well have a crash afterwards because you can't see anything.
Exactly.
There's no doubt the impact would have caused a crash. But incredibly, Buster seems to have escaped direct injury. And check out the big brain on Jamie, because he knows why.
This windshield, like all windshields these days, is made out of laminated glass. What's that mean? Well, what they do is they take 2 sheets of glass and bond it together with a rubbery plastic in between. And that way, even though the glass goes all blotto like it does here, that membrane holds everything together. In fact, you can see on our high-speed camera how it ballooned out in the back when it got hit.
Time for some running repairs and take 2.
This time we made sure our windshield stays firmly in place. Now, on our last test, the whole windshield collapsed and fell out. So in a sense, it was absorbing a lot of the shock by doing that. And if we secure the windshield and make sure it stays firmly in place, what I'm hoping for is that the projectile, when it hits it, will concentrate all its energy in one spot. And it might just make it all the way through it.
All right, I see them up ahead. I want a bullseye! I think that was a bullseye!
Time to inspect the wound. Oh, wow! Look at that! I am blown away.
That is penetration.
Did we trip anything on the guy?
It doesn't look like it.
So, although the windshield was pierced, it once again successfully dissipated the energy of the impact. Buster got wet, not dead.
Looks to me like the windshield's actually taking a lot of the load. It's absorbing it.
Yeah.
Liquid makes it through, but it's more of a splash than some kind of a cohesive lump.
Look, I have no doubt that if you took a hit from just the cup hitting you in the head at 120 miles an hour, it would kill you. I think this windshield is protecting him sufficiently.
I do too.
Well, several destroyed windshields and several delicious slush drinks later, I'm pretty satisfied that a slush drink does not create a primary lethal hazard on the freeway. It's not going to penetrate your windshield and kill you. Make no mistake, though, it creates a very serious set of secondary lethal hazards. One, it totally obliterates your ability to see through the windshield. Two, it covers you with sticky slush drink. Three, splinters of glass are covering your body and your face. All three of these things would be enough to cause a very, very serious accident. But as for the slush drink itself being lethal through a windshield, I say no. I say it's busted.
So, what do you know? The Mythbusters live to bust another day, safely concluding that the killer soda cup is nothing but a fizzer. As for that tissue box missile, another tissue of lies. But when it comes to a big rig blowout, best to keep your distance or risk rerouting your melon. And as for the lockpick of death, well, an airbag-induced impaling just ain't gonna happen.